Hello there, welcome back to another Valkyria Chronicles episode of Ungainly Titan, and in this case this is part 2 of the Fouzen operation. Your objective is the destruction of the Iron Rail Bridge, specifically of the train on top of it. So there's an armoured train on the bridge, and this is the key to the defence of Fouzen, and that armoured train is directly commanded by General Gregor. So direct attacks of the train are a waste of time, and the idea is to get a bomb under the bridge, blow up one of the supports of the bridge and have the bridge collapse under the train, and thereby destroying the train that way. So you have two objectives. The first one is to take a bridge to the northwest. There's a headquarters up there as well, so it's kind of a secondary objective. It's not really your primary objective, but taking it makes everything a lot easier. And it's important to allow Zack to plant the bomb. So as far as I know, the bomb doesn't get planted until the northwestern, the yellow glowy flag thing is taken out, and that can be taken out by anybody. Basically, a scout or a trooper with a hand grenade will take out that bridge. Once that bridge is out of the way, you can then cross the middle bridge in force, take the eastern side of the middle bridge, and then take out the secondary position, which is again to the north. And again, you only need to infiltrate one unit up there. The initial phase is pretty straightforward. It's just moving people forward. It takes several turns to get into a position to do it. I could probably have rushed the western side defences if I wanted to, but I didn't think there was any great advantage in doing so, and I thought it was better off to be methodical and make sure that I took things without losing too many people in the first place, so that everyone I had was more or less available for the final push. I'm also playing some of the video at the early stages of this battle at faster than normal speed, because there's not a lot happening except me just moving units. There's very little combat action going on at the start of this. It's just moving units forward. So there are mines on the bridge that have to be cleared. There's getting the units forward in position. The enemy units actually start pretty well back in the initial position. There's only that shock trooper above, and I think they're all above normal. They're tougher than the troopers you've encountered so far. They're all these elite scouts and elite shock troopers, or trooper elite as is referred to here. So they're a bit tougher than the average, and they hit a little bit harder as well. But they also start further back, so you can actually reach down into the covered area under the trolley tracks, the little trolley trains, before you start encountering the enemy forces. And actually there's, I think, very limited enemy forces in that area when you arrive. It's just that they actually start moving up from their headquarters and from their stations into that position to attack you as you assemble. So you have a lot of time at the start, basically, while the enemy are actually summoning reinforcements and getting troops into position. You're also basically doing the same thing, and you can have plenty of force available for when you want to start the fight. It's basically worth keeping your units together. And you have quite a distance to travel just to get in contact, or even just to get across the bridge. It takes multiple moves for a lot of your units just to get across the bridge. Now, I think initially I take everybody across the bridge, but then I actually send somebody back to guard the base. I've been very nervous about not guarding my bases ever. Well, I've had a base taken from me by thinking it was safe, and found that the enemy could infiltrate in through the rear zone. And in principle, there are elevators. You can see them marked on the map. Those black rectangles with the triangles inside them mark elevator positions, and in theory the enemy could use those elevators to attack the base. And I suppose we could probably use, I never actually tried, but as far as I know, when I've tried using those elevators on the southern side, they have been locked to me. The ones that are unlocked are the ones basically that allow me to carry forward the offensive. So at the northern side of the bridge, the middle bridge, the one that's guarded by the chevaux de frise and the or whatever those iron triangles are called. There's a name for them, but I can't remember. There's an enemy tank pushing up now from the enemy headquarters. So I think the elevator there is usable. So it would actually be a way, I think, of getting people that have travelled via the trolley car down into the lower level. Though I never actually used it. And the one on the other side that takes me towards the final section also gets used. So there you see the train fires and it changes its location. And it just does this in a steady pattern. So it's a predictable pattern. And it's worthwhile keeping an eye on it, but I didn't take it adequately into account and didn't pay enough respect actually to that train in this particular playthrough, as you will see towards the end. So we're moving, just gathering people together. Their next shot is massively ambitious if they expect me to have units down there before the end of the turn, because I'm just basically bringing everybody together, with the exception of the sniper, whom I'm trying to make use of from the top of the bridge. This guy ducks and avoids the shot. Yeah, we've pushed her forward. And again, we're just repeating the movement and going to shoot at him again, just from a slightly different angle. He is at the edge of effective range, because as you can see, it would take 4 shots to take him down, which is a lot in sniper terms. Whereas if he was that bit closer, I'd probably be able to do it in one shot. So I have a lot of movement left. Don't know if there's a lot of utility in storing movement in this particular battle. I don't think I did much of it. But we now have almost everybody in a fairly advanced position. We can bring Rosie up as well. So if they come around the corner, we actually have quite a lot of firepower up here. Although my best units are not necessarily forward. Defensively, Largo doesn't go red, so I don't think I have a shot there. Either the rail is blocking it or she's just out of range. And again, can shoot the trooper. Not that it's likely to hit him, but we can do it. And she doesn't have any defensive fire capability, and it's just a tank left. Well, we have to bring the tank across. That'll be one move. We won't bring the tank the whole way with one move. And then we have a movement remaining. It'll take at least 3 moves to get the tank down there now. Do I get a shot with the tank? Yes, the tank gets to fire. But again, the range is pretty far and he misses as well. So now we're basically out of movement. We have 1 movement left, but as I said, not to use it. So the enemy are now reinforcing themselves and they're bringing on some extra troops. And as you can see, some of them are arriving steadily from that bridge. There's another path on the other side, not one that you can block or interdict in any major way, where reinforcements also appear from. It's a consideration just when you get around to that side of the map. And there's the enemy tank firing. Again, not with any great success. The ranges are very long, but it will attempt it. So it's worth noticing that this is the case. So, and again, the big gun fires. And as soon as it fires, the train moves. So it actually moved back to its original position. It didn't continue on moving. to the eastern side of the map. So anyway, we're now going to push forward, and we're going to just push down into the tunnel in here, into the low ground where the enemy are awaiting us. But I don't think we'll make contact this round, or we might just make contact with the sort of outer edges of the enemy's defense screen. I'm just examining the map there. See what's being revealed, and there's also hidden units that we don't know about. So, obviously the first thing I do here is I have become nervous about the situation back at the base, and I decided that the base needs to be garrisoned. I became concerned, I think, that the elevators there to the north of me were usable. Or at least usable by the enemy. So here we have the enemy set up in an entrenched position, and we don't have a great shot. So I'm moving Nancy around the corner where she's not immediately under fire, because I just thought that the range is too far to be opening engagement, and I wouldn't be able to get too many people down there, and I just might be getting Nancy and whoever I send down with her killed. So I'm going to set up more of a defensive screen here, and then we can push forward from this location and get right into their face, into their engagement range in the next turn or two. Basically when we get the tank up, because we'll need the tank to take on the enemy tank. Now, we have a potential kill from here, but we don't make it. And she's got one round remaining. And she takes out a trooper elite, which is excellent. Makes things so much easier. Now, I've decided actually not to even bother with the trolley car. It looks like. I don't think I ever used them in this particular game. And we're going to shoot first. And we managed to get a hit on the enemy tank, and then we push forward, because the enemies, as far as I know, don't repair their hits. So now with Edelweiss, possibly close enough to get into the action. I don't get the option of dismantling the those barriers. Well, I suppose I could use a grenade on them. So we do a repair on the Edelweiss, and then I think I send them back to do a repair on the fort, so that if on the off chance Alicia is attacked from the north, that she'll have some sandbags to hide behind, because he can repair the sandbags. I suppose I could have tossed a hand grenade into that position, and it would have gotten rid of the barriers, and that would have enabled me to put people onto the trolley car, but I didn't do it, and I don't think I did it in the actual playthrough that succeeded either. As I have mentioned earlier, I did a second, this is the first playthrough where I failed, and the second playthrough failed to record. It turns out that the recording software recorded a different application, and not the one that recorded my web browser. So I have the voiceover and sound from the game, but I don't have the I don't have any of the images from the game, so it's kind of useless. And because of the nature of Valkyria Chronicles, because it's a one-save game, you can't go back and replay a mission or plot-specific missions. So again, the train fires, moves, and goes back into the center of the map. And the enemy had pushed into us and attacked, so that's handy because it enables us to take them on in smaller packets than we would have had to if they stayed on the defensive. So Carl goes back and will repair the that line of sandbags. But I'm going to have to wait for him now to have a second activation before I can repair the second line of sandbags, and I think that would be enough. I don't think she needs a full all-round cover. And then we head back towards the action, because he'll be needed to repair the Edelweiss and stuff like that further on. Now we might as well put Alicia into defensive position now that we've gone to the bother of creating for her, so at least she can have a fighting chance to protect the base, because they won't occupy the base while she's there, and generally they won't attack it in large numbers anyway. So now we've managed to, well, we haven't managed to kill the Lancer Elite. We managed to knock a lot out of him, but not kill him. So we're going to activate Rosie, and she is going to use her undodgeable shot, and she gets rid of the Lancer Elite. But she is taking fire from the supporting units behind. Or the shock trooper, isn't it? Yes. So we now need to use bring Nancy into bear, and she takes out the Scout Elite. So yeah, they're all elite. These are elite troops by General Gregor. And we can now bring forward our sniper. We put her right into the corner, but I don't think we can see anybody. And we'll bring forward our engineer a little bit as well. So we have the engineer brought to the edge of the bridge, and we're now ready to assault the main enemy defensive position on the western side of the bridge. The enemy are bringing on fresh reinforcements, of course, and in various locations, and they're going to fire at what they can see. Fortunately for us, they weren't able to fire at the sniper. Yoko took a hit. And here's the artillery round dropping someplace random. That has nothing to do with us at the moment, and again the train moves to the western side. I think it doesn't move to the eastern side until you actually move units over there. No, if memory serves me correctly. But if it's in the middle, you can actually maneuver on the western side relatively safely. But what's on the western side, you need to be in hard cover. So I think that's the way it works. I think I've just decided to change my mind with Catherine and use the trolley cars and see if I can get her into a position where I can usefully snipe at people. Problem is, she doesn't have a lot of movement left. These guys are just too far away. 90 shots to kill is just not going to cut it. I bring her back, which is possibly... Well, it allows her to be resupplied, I guess. So he's going to go up there. The Edelweiss has taken some slight damage. Might still keep it up to speed. And we don't go near Catherine, do we? If we'd gone near Catherine, we'd have resupplied her. Not very well coordinated thinking there on my part. So we bring Yoko down and we get her into a position where she can see the enemy tank, but she does not have a clean shot at it. Now she does. So I'd say she was Did she hit it? She did. She has done some damage to it. Way is clear as well on the outer edge, so we can bring the Edelweiss around if we can avoid driving down on any of our soldiers. No. Drive. A straight line. My driving skills on the Edelweiss are not the best. One shot remaining will kill him, which is good, but no clean shot from here. Too far away, I think. Infinite. Yeah. Very ineffectual. And we have now got to go around and go again. So the enemy are pushing troops forward. Tank is still alive, but only barely. He's taken a hit on the Edelweiss, and the other tank fires at Catherine, but misses. Doesn't have a shot on the Edelweiss, and here's the big gun. Lands on his own troops, I think. And he goes off back over to the centre of the railway bridge again. Next shot is going to be up around where Catherine is. So she's going to have to move. We're going to advance the Edelweiss. It'll give cover if I can just drive it. And we're closer to the enemy tank. And we miss. So we just push forward a little bit. Now we're going to be exposed to two tanks. But we will provide cover from the tanks. We'll provide cover for our own troops as well, and defensive fire. So we bring forward Yoko right point blank in your face. Bang, you're dead. Finishes off the medium tank, and that leaves us in a pretty strong position here. So we've just got a Lancer defending this position, and then we have to send troops up to take the northwestern corner. And we'll be sorted. So we get right in your man's face. Zach explains about the industrial lifts. Before that, you're not told. But I do know that I tried to use some of the southern facing ones in this section of the game, and I failed. So I think there's only some lifts that are available to be used. So Nancy, let's shoot this guy and be done with it. She doesn't quite kill him. 2 shots remaining will kill him, and I don't know what's that going to do for her. This guy will only shoot back in his own turns, so he's going to stand there and take it until I get more people up, and more people up is probably a good idea. Melville, you're facing the wrong way, man. Melville is another scout, actually, yeah. So we get Melville right up as well, and we just need to hit this guy and finish him off, and that's it. So we have cleared the way, I think. And there's an enemy, at least one enemy guarding the base. But potentially is under fire from a lot of sources. So I've managed to secure the western end of the bridge. Now I need to consolidate my position, bring forces up, clear out the guys in front of me, and, well, take out that bridge in the northwest. Then I have the first objective completed, and then we can push people across the bridge to assault the eastern side and try and complete the final objective. So bring the sniper up, and I just thought I'd be able to get into position here where I would be able to safely take out the defender of the base up here. and it takes more than one movement. I think in hindsight, now I think when I played the second round through, I didn't actually use a sniper at all, because I just found the utility of the one quite limited. But I think in hindsight, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to bring up a shock trooper or a scout onto this location and just toss a grenade down in your man and then follow that up with gunfire. But snipers are pretty fragile, and she didn't do a lot of damage, but she took an awful lot of damage back in return, and it kicked off the pessimist thing in her, so obviously she wouldn't perform as well next time round. So effectively she becomes kind of useless to me, and it cost 2 command points to get her there. This could be done, I think, more efficiently. So how do I push on? I guess I push on, really. Might as well take this place before it gets reinforced, would be my view. This guy needs to go down. 64 shots to kill is a bit much. So, hand grenade time. Yeah, that's Melville out of it. Don't know how much damage he did to the shock trooper. He's not in great health, and neither is she. However, she can target, I think, without attracting return fire, and he's no longer in cover, so she might get her one-shot kill here. What happened? Decided not to use her? I really don't know what was going through my head. It looks like I decided not to use her, and I didn't fire. Instead, I brought Nancy up instead. Now Nancy can do him in 4 shots, and he's going to have the advantage, or she's going to have the advantage of having Melville beside her, so that there's 2 of them firing. Nancy didn't. She's reached the limit of her movement. So now I gotta take that base. I hope I'm not so crazy that I didn't. That would have been utterly crazy. So we get in here. We've captured the base. Did we capture the base? Now, I wasn't too sure what I was supposed to do here. So I decided to go with yeah, what I'm supposed to do, I think, is just toss a grenade on it. But it took me a moment to figure it out, I think. And we still haven't taken the base. This is nuts. No, don't do that. Bridge is destroyed. Right. All allied soldiers and reserves were killed. I've never actually got anywhere close to something like that happening. I probably should have saved the game at this point too, and it would have made it a lot easier for part 2. Oh, come on. What are you doing? Really don't know what's going through my head at this point in time. Well, I suppose I didn't quite understand how I was supposed to destroy that bridge. At least I can't use him. Occupy the flag. Oh, what a fool. Right. Oh, nuts. This is utterly nuts, but anyway. Don't know why I'm sending him down here. Maybe I thought I needed an engineer to deal with the bridge. I don't know, was the man says. This is really puzzling to me. And of course, enemy reinforcements will now appear in the base, I think. So they're coming up somewhere from the rear there, on the other side. The bridge is impassable at the moment because there's mines and all sorts of things. And yes, guy spawns and runs straight towards the tank, which as a move is just as nuts as anything I've just done. There's not much left of him either. He's really taking a pounding. Enemy tank advances onto the bridge to close the distance, I think, to the Edelweiss. Gets right to the edge of the blocked terrain and does a bit of damage to the Edelweiss. Not a whole lot after all that drama. And the big gun fires. Now, I can't remember where the big gun was. Was it in the middle? Yes, I think it was. Which is why it didn't interfere with the combat before now. And here is where it gets where I'm screwing up, I think, big time. Now the enemy are dropping a shell there on the other side of their old headquarters, and I need to secure that base. We have a Lancer now behind us. Oh, come on. But the train is overhead. Now we go target mode, and this is where I think I decide to go hand grenade. And kaboom. Bridge gone. Just as simple as that. So the bridge is gone. Zaka can go and set up the bomb. And now they just have to fight their way across the central bridge. Take the damn base. And then complete the mission. I don't know why they couldn't have gone with a what do you call it, a remote detonation. But since the area is kind of quasi World War II-ish, World War I-ish, I think even by World War I they could do remote detonation using completing a circuit. So General Gregor obviously has oh, that's possibly why only some of the lifts work, because probably no lift was working probably prior to that. Anyhow, they're right under the rail car here, and I think they're actually safe from the guns at this location because they're actually completely under. They're probably below the gun depression of the rail car. Now Melville has done his action, so he can only move. I think he's still occupied the base though. So what I choose to do with him is to actually run him up here to get him into position, and as soon as I move him, he's taking fire from the train. And down he goes. I don't know why I'm getting this. Oh, yeah, they're showing me that the elevators work. So I withdraw Catherine, and I withdraw actually all the way. I don't use the elevator, which I could have done, which would have been a more efficient use of my resources. But I actually finish up using the trolley car to get her back out to her starting location. Which is a bit of a waste, really, because now she's going to be miles away from the action and cost a ton of command points to get her back into a location where she's of any use to me. There's no enemy troops lined up or visible. Certainly none within effective range. Those guys are out there, but they're way too far away. And the chances to hit them are not great. So that round went nowhere near them. It's most of doing it because I can, and there's a remote chance of working rather than any practical effect. So we now damage the medium tank. The Edelweiss is damaged. Right. What do I do with Carl? We resupply Yoko and we repair the Edelweiss. Oh no, I don't. I resupply the Edelweiss. I suppose I'm planning to resupply Catherine as well. I still haven't taken the other base. I just don't believe that. I mean, I really haven't watched this video fully all the way through since I did the original battle. So I just find it astounding that I didn't. No, there's a railway girder in the way. Push out to the edge. And medium tank is fairly badly damaged, and I still haven't taken that base, I don't think. So we're back up to a forward position, and I've used most of my command points. In fact, I've used all of my command points. The Lancer's still alive. And the enemy probably can't believe that they still have the base. Yeah, he triggered aggro, but he didn't trigger much, and the Edelweiss was just didn't take any damage, actually. Quite surprising. More enemy troops moving up the other side. Interestingly enough, the enemy doesn't believe that I left on the base either, because they didn't bother trying to bring reinforcements on. Edelweiss will need repair. And here comes the big gun. And of course the train will move off this side, so Nancy will be free to act. Train returns back to the middle. So you can see that it's pretty lethal when it's over the sector that it's hovering over at that point in time. At least anybody that moves in its vicinity is now starting to drop rounds. On the other side of the map, again, a position that I have no hope of actually getting to at any point in time in the near future. So Yoko should be able to finish this thing off. And that's it, cleared. So now it's a matter of dismantling the mines, fixing up the Edelweiss, getting everybody together and doing a push across the bridge. But we still have to get rid of that Lancer, and we still have to take that base on the northwestern side. So we resupply Catherine, and then we head back down towards the Allied, towards the tank, and we should make it to the tank. But obviously I don't have an action to repair the tank. Or do I? Oh yeah, I do, because the resupply isn't in action. And now we've got to go and start dismantling mines and all the other sort of stuff. All the other demolition engineering stuff. Now, we go out here. We don't want to set the mines off. Just want to get close enough to generate the disarm. Tricky enough, the short movement at on the mouse and keyboard anyway. I don't know what it was like originally with a controller. It would have been interesting to play this game on console. Be interesting to see how they did the menus and the control system. How did it compare to, say, XCOM or other turn-based games? Anyway, we have a shot of this guy. It's not a great shot, but you know, might as well take it. It knocks him down and will make it a lot easier for the next person. So we're ready to disarm some more mines. And we should be able to do the last one. I think that's all the mines cleared. There might be one more set. Yeah, that's all the mines cleared. And we're not in a position to trigger the aggro from the boys across the bridge. We just now have to clear away the obstacles. Now, Nancy. No, Nancy. No, no. I think that I must have just completely forgotten about it. I'll actually need to review the video, make sure that I did forget about it. Yeah, it's still in red on the map. I've not actually taken that headquarters. Bloody amazing. Okay, the tank is not clear. It's on obstacles. It can't drive through these things. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop here. That we have enough of a video. And the rest is just bringing up some troops, gathering everybody together. And we'll leave the mystery of whether I actually took that headquarters or not for the next round. But yeah, unbelievable. I must have thought that I had actually taken it. You know, I must have thought that I pressed the key, that I'd actually taken it, and never actually checked on the map that I had not done so. Amazing. Anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and a share. Feel free to comment. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.